Hey, what's up, guys? Jonathan Liu here. Wanted to make another quick video on healing your future. And for those of you that know me or have worked with me or had a session with me, you know that I'm pretty good at helping people heal their past, release old negative traumas or limiting beliefs, or just shifting their perspectives of the world, their mindset. But can you heal your future, right? And I wanted to talk about this because I had a really cool experience the other night, wanted to share it. And I'm going to just preface this video by saying, first of all, you can change your future at any time, right? Your future is not set in stone. Why I'm sharing this today is because what I mean by healing your future is, and if you've been working with manifestation or law of attraction or any of that stuff, visualizing what it is that you want, and you're experiencing sometimes blocks of not being able to see things or seeing one vision, but it just for some reason isn't sparking joy or isn't sparking passion, then this video might be helpful for you. Okay. And kind of how this came up is actually we had a friend who was visualizing, her making, a certain amount of money and being able to do that things that she want, but she noticed that she just wasn't in that vision of herself. She wasn't happy, right? Yeah, she had the money. Yeah, she was able to do some things that she wanted to do, but she wasn't happy, right? And what do we do with that? Like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. So maybe money's not the thing that she's looking for. It's kind of what she assumed. For me, I decided to go ahead and do this for myself because I've been having this block. Like, I'm really good at manifesting and creating things in my life. And there's just this one piece that for some reason I didn't quite understand it. Like, I've had this vision and I've had it for probably like 10, maybe 20 years now, maybe 15 years. And it's always a vision. So every time I'm trying to visualize me being successful and having all the money I want, having the freedom that I want, it's always this same vision. And I can't see, and even though it's like, oh, it comes so clear. And when I try to visualize something else, I'm trying to like force something else because this vision doesn't really make my heart jump with joy and make me like really want it, although it looks kind of cool on the outside. But it's just kind of been there, and I can't see anything else. It's always that picture. Anytime I'm visualizing or I'm doing a meditation and I'm, trying to manifest something into my life, it's always this one image. So if you've had that experience before, then you might want to try this. Okay, so the vision that I've had is of every time I'm trying to envision something, when I'm successful and when I'm living the life that I want, it's always this vision where I'm on like this yacht. It's like a private yacht. I'm sitting at a table. I'm getting like I got a glass and like there's somebody pouring orange juice into this glass. I'm wearing like white shirt, white pants. Um, and then I can't see her face. There's a lady, there's a woman or a girl like walking up kind of like the steps, kind of like climbing up. And I only see it from behind. So I only see like a ponytail. That's it. And she was wearing kind of like a visor. I can see the back of it. That's all I see. Right. And I don't know what that means. It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a yacht. There's, looks like I've made it. Right. And I'm going to have a conversation with this lady, it looks like. And I've seen this image so many times. It's crazy. Every time I do some sort of visualization of me wanting to just get to the next level, or it's not even I want to be a billionaire or multimillionaire. It's like, hey, I just want to make, 25K a month. And when I'm looking at it, it's still always the same image. And I can't get past that. And it's really kind of frustrating because when I see the image, I don't feel inspired. And so I thought, okay, you know what? Instead of just sitting there, letting it sit there, let me actually look into this thing. What if I did what I do with my past selves and, when I rewrite stories and I process through things and heal my past, what if I did that with my future? So I envision it because it's loud and clear and I can see it all the time. And I decided to go have a conversation with this future version of me. And it turns out, yeah, he's and I had assumed that maybe, he's not happy because, he had to do some shady things to get to where he's at, or he had to burn some relationships or whatever the case may be. But it wasn't. He was like, no, I made great relationships. I learned a lot in business. I applied it, I implemented it, and I got to where I am. And I have good relationships and didn't do anything shady. And I was like, okay, so what's missing here then? Like, why do I not feel happiness or joy? And he was just kind of like, yeah, I feel like it's just, this is it. It's like this feeling of, that's it. Like I did all that, got to where I'm at. He looks like he's probably older. I feel like he's maybe 20 years from now, like a 60, I'm 40. So I'm like a 60-year-old version of myself. And still like young, but like still, he was just like, yeah, I don't know, like, that's it? Like, I thought I'd be happier, and he wasn't. I was like, "Huh, that's really interesting. Like, what is it? Like, what do you think was missing?" And then I just heard like, "Oh, he didn't follow his heart." And like once I heard that, it was like boom, that hit, and I saw him, right, me, this future version of me, like, "Oh, you didn't follow your heart." And he just kind of like broke down, like, "Oh, that's what it was. I did everything." And it's not even like he didn't follow his intuition, right? Because I feel like he did. He followed his gut intuition and did things, and his business deals panned out pretty cool. Like they worked out very well for him. He learned a lot about business and being an entrepreneur and serving customers and all that stuff. But he didn't follow his heart, and he just kind of broke down and was like, "Oh my god, all this time I was doing this to make money, and I just felt like, which is really interesting because this guy like just valued his time so much, which I think I have much to learn from that. Um because I don't value my time as much as I probably should right now, but kind of going off topic there. He just looked back at his life, like these last 20 years, and like, wow, how many times did he miss, his daughter, Nyla, right? My daughter's, he was at a business meeting, or he did this, or he did that, or he could have, spent a family camping trip instead of going to a business conference or whatever it was, right? Like it just felt like this like regret of all these things that he could have done with his time. And instead he was doing something else. And on top of that, it wasn't even following his heart or his passion or what he truly wanted to do. And man, this is the crazy part, okay? Like once that was kind of revealed, all of a sudden that image of that yacht and all that stuff just like it just like crashed. And then it went to another image of a new yacht, right? It was a new yacht, and it was different. It was more like a private cruise. I don't feel like he owned the yacht, but it was a private cruise, and all my friends and family were there, and it was a blast. And it was like we're sitting around on this table in this like really nice two-story whatever penthouse suite on a cruise, and just having dinner and toasting. And I saw my family, I saw my daughter, I saw my friends, I saw just all these people who really made me feel joyful. And I got like emotional just seeing that image, like, and it was like a toast, like, hey, we made it, that type of thing. It's like, oh, he followed his heart and still succeeded and had all these people and relationships and just a awesome experience. And they toasted, and I was like, oh wow. And I just felt really awesome in that moment. And I thought, oh, this is it. This is what I want, right? And then, yes. And then all of a sudden, like the chandelier from the top of this room, like fell onto the table. And when it did, it just like it shattered. And then the image all of a sudden shattered, and I went down into the water. Like, and it just like all of a sudden I'm like scuba diving or something or snorkeling because all of a sudden I'm in the water, I'm swimming and I'm going down and I grab this um I see like a treasure chest, right? I grab the treasure chest. Keep in mind, guys, this is all like me working on myself as I'm going through all this. So I'm not like sleeping, I'm not dreaming. Maybe you can call it daydreaming, but this is how I work through my stuff. Okay, just kind of my own process. So I see this treasure chest, I open it up, and in it is like it's like I see a shiny thing, right? I grab it out, and it's a genie's lamp, right? Like in Aladdin. I'm like, oh, cool. And I rub it, and the genie comes out, and he's like, what is your wish? And I'm like, oh, sweet, cool. And so I said, at first, I was thinking, my first kind of thought was like, oh, I want, all the money in the world so I don't have to worry about money stresses. That's what was kind of what the first thing I thought I was going to say. But then I was like, no, that didn't feel right. And then the next thing that came up was gratitude and fulfillment, right? And those were the two things that I really, really wanted. I just wanted to feel gratitude and fulfillment every day. Like, I don't care how much money I have, I don't care what's going on. If I can feel gratitude and fulfillment, then I'll feel my life was worth it. And in that moment, it was like, oh, that's the keys to the castle for me. That's the keys that I've been looking for. Those are the things, those are the feelings I truly want to feel. And then all of a sudden it goes to like it was crazy because I'm like, do I get three wishes? And it was no, like I don't even need those. I don't need another two wishes because the gratitude and fulfillment was all I needed. And so after that, the image changed again. I'm back on this like private yacht, the private cruise one, and I'm like on the top of the deck, and there's a bunch of people. It's this big celebration, dancing, and it looks like there's a wedding. And I was like, oh, who's getting married or what's going on? And it happened to be me and Bridget, right, as the bride and the groom. And it was kind of a renewal of vows, and it was a celebration of us being together and making it. Because we never really had like a big wedding. We did it in the courthouse and had a kind of a nice family dinner with both of our families, but we didn't really have like a big wedding or wedding party. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. Um, and it was just like again, like the emotions of joy and just like happiness and peace and gratitude filled me. I'm like, oh, this is what I want, right? And I'm like, okay, cool. I can use this as an image, as kind of my vision boarding. I wanted to use that. And then after that, it started to disappear, like kind of dissolve away. And this time it went to another image, and now it was I'm not sure if it's on the same yacht as the very, very first vision I had, but it was a pretty large boat. It was a yacht. I don't know if it's a cruise ship or what, but I'm out on the balcony and I'm just sitting outside and the wind's blowing. And it's just this feeling of gratitude and fulfillment. And it's not even like I made it. I want to say I made it feeling, but it's just like, this is what life is. This is what life's about. And it was just this deep calm. And so I use that now, like, as the image when I'm envisioning what I want. That's kind of the future, at least as far as feelings go. That's what I want to experience, whether it's on a yacht, whether it's, I know I want to be with friends and family and all that. But it was really, really interesting to see that for so long, I'm talking like, yeah, 10, 15 years really of wanting to visualize and being into law of attraction and being into this type of stuff. And this vision has never changed. It's always like the original one of me getting orange juice and just not having the emotions attached to it. And now this, it's almost like a similar vision where I'm just kicking back on the outside of some sort of cruise ship overlooking the water, and feelings of gratitude and fulfillment like just fill my body, and that's the vision that I have now. So I definitely feel like my future has shifted. I've changed the trajectory somehow just by having a different vision, allowing myself to have a different vision. And yeah, to be honest, like since then, so this happened maybe, I don't know, I want to say like 3 or 4 nights ago. And since then, a lot has shifted and changed. And I've worked through a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, pretty excited about the future. So, that being said, I hope this helps. I mean, if anybody has trouble seeing, because I know I had this, right? Like you're trying to visualize, you're trying to do this, and it's, you might not believe it works, or you might not be able to see anything, or you can see something, but you can't feel anything. And then you're like, well, is this what I want? Is this what I really want? Or is this what I want based on where I'm at in this level of my mind right now? So anyways, I hope this helps somebody. I know it's kind of a long video, and if you have questions, feel free to shoot me a message. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.